Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys for coming back to Child of the Kingdom. So today I am filming outside because I don't want to be inside with the lights and everything just ruining my vibe. It's a good day. It's a good day, so we're gonna try and get through this. I hate the bugs, but God made them, so I kind of need to love them. Okay, so let's talk. I want today to talk about obedience. I want to talk about what it means to be obedient and how far we have to go to be obedient, and just to talk about obedience. Okay, so let's talk about it. I want to first say that obviously when we first think of obedience, right, the first thing that kind of comes to our mind is, okay, I need to go to church, I need to pray. Go to church, pray. Go to church, pray. It's just something that is in our minds. We're so programmed to think that obedience is going to church and praying. Obedience is going to church and praying because the Bible is our handbook. The Bible is our guide. The Bible is what we use to kind of navigate the world. And the Bible tells us that we need to go to church, we need to pray, we need to be in constant communication with God. That is very true. But I want to also just kind of shed your light or your eyes onto something else also. Think about it this way, right? We see how we always sing all these songs, withholding nothing, I surrender all to you. That also encompasses an aspect of obedience. There's so much more to obedience than just going to church and praying. It requires us to take, different departments of who we are and our identity and literally surrender them onto God. Now I know, again, you're probably thinking now, okay, so lust, okay, so sin, okay, so lying, like, the mainstream things that a lot of people will talk about that are very valid. But I also want to just shed your eyes on something. I keep saying shed your light. It's not right. I don't want to shed your light. Your light remains. Okay, I want to shed light on something. There you go. I want to just talk about obedience in terms of relationships, okay? It could be any relationship, friendship, loving relationship, family relationships, whatever kind of relationship it is, okay? Think about it this way. When God tells you something about someone, you need to listen to him. In life, our human relationships are one of the most important relationships because those have the most, or some of the most strongest impacts on who we are, on how we perceive things, on how we see things, on how we understand things. Our human relationships, our relationships with other humans are very important, not to be neglected whatsoever. So if you're one of those people that thinks, you're team loner, you're alone, no new friends, okay, whatever, it doesn't matter. Your relationships with people, even if it's not long-term relationships, human relationships hold so much importance. Okay, that's the first thing I want to say. Now, God is trying to help us navigate into this world. This world, we are not of this world. We are what's that word? Persecuted every day. People don't like us because we're Christian. People don't like us because of our morals. People don't like us because of all these things. Okay, it's hard. It's hard out here to navigate. And God is trying to help us. He's trying to say, you know what, child, follow me, follow my lead. I got this. I got you. So you're gonna come across some people, and God's gonna tell you, princess, that person's not for you. That person is not for you. Your duty, okay, as an obedient child of God, because I know we all want to be, is to say, okay, God, that person's not for me. I'm gonna love you like Christ loved the church from a distance, okay, later, and walk on, okay? That's your duty. That is being obedient. That is being obedient. So the thing with us today, okay, let me tell y'all, because I know a lot of you guys are gonna be like, wow, I do that. The thing with obedience today is that God will tell us something about somebody, and God will say, this person's not for you. Don't mess with this person. And you'll say, God, I got this. Just because they don't pray, I got this. I'm gonna lead them to you. Okay, God, I got this. Okay, I know what to do. She's my friend. We click. I'm just gonna talk about you a couple times in the week, and she's gonna wonder about you, and then it's just all gonna work into place. I got this, God. Don't even worry about it, God. I got this. That's pretty much what's gonna happen. That's what happens. That's what happens to everybody. That's what happens every day. That's what happens every minute. That's what happens every time God tells you this person is not for you. Okay. Now think about it this way. I always say, when people ask me what is something that you struggle with in terms of your Christian walk, I always say that in my mind, sometimes, not all the time, in my mind, God's a human. God's my neighbor. My neighbor lives right there. God's my neighbor, and he's just a human who I just talk to normally. Ugh, my neighbors are coming. That's so funny that I just said neighbor and my neighbor's coming. He's just a human that I talk to regularly, and that is just around all the time, and that I just have to trust for some reason because he's been appointed to be the leader of my life. God isn't human. Okay, let me paint a scenario for you guys. We have a friend named Sarah. Sarah's right there. Me and Sarah are talking, and Sarah is like, princess, don't talk to Jane. Okay, don't talk to Jane because Jane's not cool. Last time me and Jane were in the mall, she was so rude to me. Don't talk to her. Okay, that's what Sarah will say. And for some reason, you'll completely accept Sarah's advice because you're like, wow, Sarah had a horrible experience with Jane. Maybe I don't want to have that same experience with Jane, so you'll accept her advice. Or you're going to be like, okay, I want to have a clean slate with somebody. I don't want to have to go through the same things or be, you know, a prejudger. I don't want to prejudge anybody. I'm just going to go through the same things. You make your own decisions based off of whatever. But either way, you understand that the only reason that your friend is warning you about somebody else is because she had a poor experience with that person, okay? Now think about it like this. God, whew, that was a lot of words. God isn't warning you about people because of how they treat him. He's warning you about people because of how they're going to treat you. God isn't like, don't talk to Bob because Bob didn't pray yesterday or Bob sinned yesterday. Don't talk to Bob. That's not how God works. God, take a look at your friendship groups. Take a look at the people you've built relationships with. I'm sure that at least 2 people that you're super close with probably aren't even Christian. God is not bitter, and God is not salty or petty. He's a jealous God because you're not supposed to put anybody before him. But in terms of just building relationships with people, he's not bitter and he's not salty. He looks out for you. God is not telling you, don't be friends with Sarah because she's rude to me, because she didn't pray yesterday, because she hasn't read her Bible in months. Don't be friends with Sarah. God's telling you, don't be friends with Sarah because I can see ahead of time. I can see what's going to happen beforehand. I can see what's going to happen long term, and it's not going to work out for you. Okay? God looks out for you, and that's just such a beautiful thing about it. And we have to stop thinking that God doesn't want us to be close with people. God doesn't want us to build relationships with people because they don't worship him like we do. Sometimes that's the case, but oftentimes it's not always the case. It's because of how the person treats you, how the person's going to affect your life, the negative impacts that the person's going to have on you, the negative influence that the person's going to have on you, the negative spirits, the negative energies that the person's going to bring into your life. God's looking out for you. So why do we have such difficulty being obedient to that? Being obedient to someone who can see way past anything I can see, that anything anyone else can see in this world. Why is it so difficult for us to just yield and just say, Lord, take control? We sing these songs at church and we're singing, I surrender everything to you, withholding nothing. But what are we really giving up? What are we really giving up if we can't say, Lord, take control of my relationships, take control of my human interaction, take control of my mind, take control of who is in my space? If we can't give that up, what are we really giving up? Because those things, those human interactions, our minds and our space and the people we allow in our space have the hugest impact over us. It's kind of time for people to stop not listening to God and start yielding to him. Start understanding that he is Lord for a reason. He has your best interest at heart. The Bible even tells us that his plans are just to give us the future, give us hope in our future and prosper us and not to harm us. So don't think that he's extracting people and removing people from your life because he wants you to feel bad. He's doing it because it might feel bad now, it might feel awkward now, but he's doing it because there's a greater purpose. He's doing it because it needs to be done. Start listening, start being obedient, start obeying. You know, when God says this person's not for you, okay, God, just right away, because the thing is that it's going to hurt more when you allow that person to come in your life. You build an attachment with that person, you love that person, you whatever with that person, and then in the end they hurt you and you're like, God, why did you allow this to happen to me? He didn't allow anything to happen to you. You did that for yourself. We often hear the terms, get out of the way and let God work. Get out of the way. Stop me, and start doing, Lord, what is your will, your way, your words, your decree and declarations. It's all you. It's all you. Start practicing that in your life. I feel like it's just important. You know, even let's think of it in terms of like relationships. You want to be with someone long term. You want to be with someone because you want to marry them. You want to be with someone because you love them. You want them to love you forever. It's not just for now, it's forever. Cardi B voice, forever. Okay, so take it in that God can see you're forever. He wrote the story, he wrote it, he wrote every page so beautifully. He wrote every page. You are now just living out this will. You don't have the power to backspace. You don't have the power to erase and cross out certain things and fix it up how you want it. You don't have that power. You don't have the power, and you should be happy you don't have the power, because one little change in the plan that you do ruins the whole book. It ruins the whole thing. So start practicing being obedient, giving up certain things, sacrificing things, giving up, you know, giving up your selfish desires, giving up your flesh, giving up those things, and start practicing obedience and obeying the Lord. When he says no, it's no. When he says yes, it's yes, and it's only for the betterment of you. It's only for the betterment of you. Okay, that was a lot. And I feel like I kind of just want to like say a message to the ladies. It doesn't even have to be ladies, but you know, the emotional creatures, and most people want to say that ladies are the most emotional, that we need to stop operating in the feels. Okay, we hear it all the time, you know, oh, feels. You start getting feels for somebody, you start getting attached to somebody, and you just want that to be it. You just want to feel that bliss and those butterflies forever. Stop operating in the feels. Okay, the feels aren't going to get you anything. The feels are the flesh. The feels are the flesh. And again, go watch my spirit versus flesh video. You need to separate yourself from the flesh as much as possible. Okay, operating in the feels is not going to help you, and I'm probably going to do a separate video on that, but operating in the feels is not going to help you. Your feels are your flesh, and your flesh is attached to the world, and the world is controlled by Satan. If you want to reap everything that's horrible, if you want every curse and everything negative spoken over your life to be activated, then that's when you dwell in the flesh. We are aware, and we are so grateful to know that this is the plan and the motive of the enemy. So we need to rise above that and start saying, Lord, I need you, and Lord, I want your will to be done. Let your will be done. If this is your will, let it be done. If it's not your will, don't let it be done, and let it be so. You know what I mean? Start practicing that and stop focusing on he gives me butterflies. Okay, but in the end he's going to give you a headache, so it's up to you. Okay, I'll probably do a whole nother video on that. Let me know. I don't really talk about relationships on this channel. I don't really talk about that stuff, but I just feel like women, girls, we gotta wake up. We gotta prepare ourselves for what's happening. And yeah, that's about it. So I think that's it for today. That's all I have to say. I hope you guys are also having nice weather like I am. And leave your requests down below of any videos that you would like to see, anything that you would like to watch, anything that you really want to just hear about, talk about, listen to, anything. I'm here for you guys. I love you guys, and this channel is for you guys. It's for us. It's for us to grow. It's for us to learn. It's for us to just be together in one accord. So I love you all, and subscribe, share, thumbs up, and I love you. God bless you. Bye bye.